Grey Matter came on, and I was just like, oh yeah, Daryl's on here. And then it's like, oh yeah, he's on 2 songs. He's not even just on this one. He's on Project Mayhem too. So it's like, how the hell did we pull that up?
You're listening to Sappenin Podcast.
Sappenin!
You are listening to episode 341 of Sappenin Podcast, presented by Emo's Not Dead, featuring myself, Sean Smith, and my good friend Morgan Richards.
Yes, it's me, Morgan Richards, and let's be honest, this podcast is basically a Project Mayhem. There's bite marks and blood stains all over the thing, and
Jesus Christ.
While some people would rather 2 guns to the temple than listening to us, I want you to know that I love you. I love you so.
This week's guest is Nate Barcalow from the fantastic Finch.
Yes, seeing royalty. I think I'm more impressed than anyone that we managed to get Nate to do a full podcast with us, because Finch are basically reclutes these days. Yes, they get announced for all the huge festivals, still sell out tours left, right, and center, but away from that, don't let anyone inside to the inner workings of the band, their personal lives, or what the hell is going on. So trust me when I say we made sure to change that and take full advantage. Finch have left a grey matter burn on all our emo hearts. Redefining post-hardcore with their debut album, What It Is to Burn, back in 2002. And to this day, it is considered one of the most influential records to a whole scene of bands, was one of the focuses behind Drive-Thru Records' movement, and certified them as cult classics ever since. The band have had many ups and downs. They've stops and starts in between. Say Hello to Sunshine in 2005 and Back to Oblivion in 2014, with the last decade basically being a rotation of surprise tours here and there. But from the looks of things, are now trying to rewrite their legacy and give Finch the attention, respect, and chance it always deserved. Last week, they traveled across the pond to Slam Dunk Festival here in the UK, and we were very lucky enough to have Nate come sit with us backstage for a longer period of time to finally do an episode we have been dying to do. And it kind of goes without saying with the influence he has had on you personally with the Blackout, and even supported them with Raiders back in 2023.
Yes, absolutely fantastic band. Lovely guys as well. And yeah, this was an absolutely fantastic chat that I didn't expect us to have, really. Like you said, they are basically recluses, and they hide away. So the fact that we got to talk to Nate for so long and didn't get stopped or murdered or threatened was absolutely lovely. But yeah, what a great chat. We talk everything from inspirations, frontmen, how Dal Plumbo got involved with the 2 songs on What It Is to Burn, and a load more. This was a fantastic, fantastic chat. So thank you very much to his team for letting us have the chat with him. And thank you very much to Slam Dunk Festival for giving us the venue to have this chat.
Yes, it's always a very lovely start to our summer. While we're saying thank you, this whole conversation was powered by our friends at Telefunken, who have given us new custom microphones to upgrade our equipment for festival season with custom coloured designs. Yes, of course, mine is pink. If it's the start of your own audio project, or you're just looking to upgrade your gear, check out at Telefunken_mics on Instagram. And speaking of friends and messengers,
yes,
I've just been told, Sean, that Emo's Not Dead have been invaded.
Uh-oh. Aliens?
And worse, a man called Billy Wonka. Wonka, I said. Wonka.
All right, go on.
So what he's done is given them a golden ticket giveaway. And it's your chance to win a cabin and tickets for 2 on the Emo's Not Dead Cruise 2026. It's bigger, badder, boatier than ever before. We're talking go-karts, water slides, a ton of stages, delicious restaurants, and a lineup to literally die for, with the used Silverstein Under Oath Story of the Year and more. All you have to do to win is order at least $20 worth of merch on Emo's Not Dead from now till June 20th. Use the code Golden Ticket for 10% off, and that's it. You get included into the prize draw.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, they sent us some merchandise and some coffee a couple of weeks back, and I love both of those things. The merchandise is genuinely one of the most comfortable hoodies I've ever owned in my life. The t-shirt is fantastic quality, and the coffee is fucking real nice. That's how nice it is. I'm getting aggressive. Yeah, so check out emosnotdead.com and use the code Golden Ticket.
Ooh, golden. They've also said if you can't afford $20, you can also write a 1,000-word essay on why everything is or is not emo adjacent.
Oh, that's nice. That'd be good. Yeah. Oh, I like this. So they're basically getting people to do peer reviews now, and then science, emo science, is it? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, check out emosnotdead.com. Thank you very much to Matt Cutchell and the team. We love, genuinely, that fucking cruise is absolutely amazing. We've gone on it for the last 2 years, and can't wait for next year's one, because it's, as you said, bigger and boatier. Go-kart, like a go-kart on, because that's what's missing in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. Going around in a circle very, very fast with your friends.
Exactly. As well, if you're on the internet, please go and check out patreon.com/Sappenin to keep this podcast into existence and happen every single week, where we talk to people you want to have a laugh with. But the whole community of people on our Patreon are honestly our favorite on earth. We've just got the photos back from a meetup we did at Slam Dunk Festival last weekend, and it's just lovely to see. Love to see all those smiling faces and people who have made friends in real life after just becoming internet buddies through this somehow.
Yes, and if you join our Patreon, you will find out about the secret plans that I am trying to start now about me and our gang slowly taking over every festival in the world. So
that's busy, man.
Yeah.
That would be very busy.
Check it out, patreon.com/Sappenin. Let's get on with this episode, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
Everybody wants to hear Nate speak. Not us twats. Anyway, here's Nate from Finch. Lovely stuff. Tidy, nice one. Travel safe, everyone. Sappenin!
Sappenin!
Don't be sick.
Sappenin. Yes!
Yay!
Joining us now is frontman, singer, songwriter, and beautiful human, Nate from the brilliant Finch. Woo! How are you?
Hello, I'm good. I'm well.
Good. How has Slam Dunk been treating you so far?
We just got here not too long ago, but I don't know. I'm enjoying the weather, to be honest. I know you guys have had it pretty hot lately, I heard, but...
Well, this is, it's kind of weird, because the weather forecast promised rain.
Yeah.
But yet it's very, very humid here.
Well,
Yes.
And I am sweating. It's fucking mental.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we got you in this very sweaty press tent, but like, when it comes to festival season and you do these kind of shows, does it just take you back to the days of when the band first started doing these circuits and just being pushed onto as many lineups as possible?
Yeah. It's just, it's like a throw and go, you kind of show up and get all your stuff on stage, you blow out the show, and then you're either hanging out all night or you just take off and go to the next one. So it is kind of reminiscent of the old days of all the festivals and stuff. So it's nice, though. We like them all.
Well, one of the things I wanted to bring up is that I feel like Finch is such an enigma in the scene these days, right? Because you play shows and you get booked to tours and festivals and stuff, but in between, we don't really know what's going on in any of your personal lives or what the band is up to or anything.
Big secret.
Is that something that you do kind of on purpose these days?
No, I think I think it's one giant accident. Our socials aren't very active and we don't talk much. But we're working on new music. Actually, we have a lot done, and it's pretty close to being a finished thing. So
awesome.
So for all that silence, there is work being done behind the scenes. So we should have something hopefully relatively soon to show everybody some
Nice.
new Finch.
What's the vibe of that new music?
It's hard to say, you know, when you're in it, you just see it for what it is instead of how everybody else sees it. So there's a lot of heavy stuff in there. I personally have gone through a lot of stuff just this year. So there's a lot of that energy in there too. There's a lot of I don't know. There's a lot of sorrow in there. So I know that's easy to say as an emo band or whatever, that of course there's the crying, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of different stuff in there too. So it's going to be a wide range of
Nice.
some of the old, some of the new, you know, stuff like that.
Good.
You guys haven't done a record as Finch for like over 10 years at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
When you've been doing this kind of music, do you feel like there's any extra pressure because it's been so long, or does it just kind of feel like, oh, we did those albums yesterday?
I mean, I'd say there's only pressure if you put it on yourself, but we kind of, at least I try to not think about that at all, and kind of just let it come out. And then you kind of sit back and listen to it and you go, oh, you know, some of the old stuff is still in there and it's still inside you. So it's kind of, I don't know, progression is weird, you know, like you want to push forward and do something new, but you always have your roots inside you. So if you just do what you do, it'll happen. So I'm not really worried about it too much.
Okay.
We're just excited.
Yeah. Has there been many times before this that you've tried to make records and it just hasn't worked out, or?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always work. Sometimes we'll start writing and things will happen and we'll get stifled. We have had a lot of things that just kind of got written and then just went away or sat there. But we're really trying to just push all this stuff forward and keep going and kind of like just revive our career. You know, like we kind of been living in the shadows for a long time now. And I don't know. It just feels kind of like a shame that we should just, you know, got to press on. So I don't know. We're hopeful for the future. So.
But what has held, I don't say held you guys back, but it kind of stopped you from doing as much as possibly you've wanted to do?
I don't know. Being in a band's a marriage, you know, and you don't always get along, and everybody's got lives, and we're older now. We all have families, kids, and so things start to slow down. You can't just keep rocking all the time, I guess. But I don't know. We're just trying to find our window and find our groove, and I think now is the time. And I think we're all really starting to focus up. So should be good.
Good to hear.
But it also must feel so special when you do get announced to these things, or you say, hey, we're going to do a few dates on tour, whether it be the UK, the States, or whatever, that people are always excited and people always turn up. And, you know, you haven't released music in a decade. You don't update people so much of what you guys doing. But as soon as you're like, we're doing shows, people are there.
Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of, it's amazing that they're still there, to be honest. I mean, I would have given up on us a long time ago because we don't treat people very well, you know. Like our fans, we ditch them and then we come back, and we ditch them and we come back, and that's not fair. So I really appreciate that personally, that we can still go out and people are still showing up, regardless of what we're playing. If we're playing, you know, an anniversary tour of Just Burn, or if we are doing a Sunshine set, or whatever, or new music, everybody's just on board always, and I'm really grateful that people are still have stuck around through our bullshit, you know. So it's nice.
Is it? But I'd say that's the power of writing great songs, is the fact that those songs meant so much to people that every time you come back, they're like, well, I need to go again.
Yeah. At first, you know, I would have chalked it up to just nostalgia, but I think it's more than that. I think it's a connection. And the people that really just stay and keep coming back, it's a connection instead of just, I just want to see this record played because it reminds me of being in high school or whatever. And I think we did make some serious connections out there, so that feels good too. And I'm hoping that it just continues that way as we write, even if we want to advance in the music and the technicality or whatever we're doing. I just lyrically, personally, I feel like I really still need to make that connection with everybody, because I think that's the most important thing and keeps people coming back is when they feel connected and they can relate. That's just, it's so important in art in general. So, yeah.
Will we be hearing any new songs today or over the weekend?
We actually have 2 on the set list today.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I can't wait for that.
Well, how does your lyric process work? Are you someone who like notes down a lot of things like on your phone or a journal and come back to it when this song's ready? Or is it kind of like the other guys will be like, hey, here's the instrumental, and then you're like, I've already got ideas, or just see what flows out?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, it used to be a process where we would all kind of write, and then when the music got finished, I got handed it, and then I would work on it just by myself. But these days, the process has gotten a little different, and yeah, I'll be walking around maybe, and like I'll just think of a line or think of something, and I'll just put it in my phone real quick under notes, and then later when I revisit something after we've written the music or after that, I start there with the notes. I open the notes and then I just start going from there. But I don't know. It's kind of like whenever inspiration strikes, you got to just sit down and listen to it for a minute, even if it doesn't last very long or you don't get a whole song finished. It's just like those moments. It's kind of like someone or something is giving you something in that moment. You just got to like take it when it happens, because I feel like that's the most genuine way. And I've told people this, and this is so strange, that sometimes I will write songs and I don't even know what they're about until I'm done with it. Like, I don't really start with I'll just write it all down and we finish it. And then when I listen back, I go, oh, that's what I was talking about. You know what I mean? Like, it's such like a whirlwind of just like things flowing through you that you don't always know what it means and you don't know where it's coming from. You just kind of like trust the process and listen to it. I don't know if that answers your question or if that's a tangent. But.
Well, no. This whole podcast is just about tangents, trust me. But no, it sounds like you surprise yourself sometimes.
I do, a lot, actually. And then a lot of times life will imitate that art. Like, I'll write about stuff, and it's not necessarily specific to me. It might just be like a vibe or a thing. And then somehow those lyrics will become true to me at some point, and they will reveal themselves. And I'm like, oh my God, it's almost like seeing the future. It's really weird. It's really odd, but that's just the creative process. And I feel like if you're tapped into that, it's an ability that just, I don't know, it just happens. It's something, it sounds weird, but it's kind of like cosmic. It's really weird, but that's what I enjoy about it, is the mystery, Are you a melody first kind of guy, or just go in with a lyric and then work at the lyric in? Sometimes I'll come up with a couple lines that I know, like I want this to be in there without the melody, but it's usually melody first, where I'll hum something or sing some nonsense over a song, before I have words, and be like, okay, that sounds really nice, and then you just kind of find the verbiage to fit in there, and then it all kind of just snowballs after that. But yeah, it's mostly melody first.
Nice.
Yeah.
You mentioned kind of the emo nostalgia that's quite prominent within this scene at the moment. But when people are kind of discussing like kind of albums back in the day, obviously What Is to Burn comes up as kind of one of the defining scene anthems for a lot of people, right? Yeah. And you've celebrated that record quite recently with anniversary tours. What's been your relationship with that record for you as it goes on? Because I'm sure that is one that you get a lot of messages and comments and see people's tattoos about and stuff like that. And, it's broke the band into the spotlight and everything else in between.
Yeah.
Do you have has your feelings about it changed over the years, or do you see what it meant to people in that time?
I definitely see it. It's hard because you want to move forward and you want to move past it and be like, hey, that's not our only record. We're doing all this work and we're trying really hard to do other things, and sometimes they don't go as noticed as the first record, but it's a strange dance because you want to keep moving forward, but you also want to give the respect that it deserves, and I have to kind of remind myself, like, well, that's where we came from. That was the first thing that came out. That's when we were kids. Like there's a lot of nostalgia attached to it for us too. So it's we do share that with them, but I feel like sometimes it gets a little pushed into the limelight as far as being like, this is the work that defines us, where I don't think any album defines any one artist. It's just kind of like that's what they put out at the time. That's who they are then, and then they move on and they put out another one, and that's who they are then, and you grow as an artist, and you can always look back and respect it. But I do have a very loving relationship with those songs. Admittedly, some of them, have kind of lost maybe their juju a little bit on stage for me, just because we've done all the anniversary tours and all that stuff. So it's like mentally and creatively, I would just want to like move on, but I don't want to forget it. We're not going to forget it. We're not always going to play those songs, but it's kind of like it's not. I wouldn't say it's a love hate because I don't hate anything, but it's just kind of like it's a wobbly line to walk of like really appreciating those songs and then being like, man, I just want to move on from that. Like. I want to do something new. So it's tricky. That's how it is with everybody's art.
No, I completely understand. Yeah. When you've done those anniversary tours, do playing the other tracks that you don't normally play just fill you back of memories of being like, oh, I remember being in the studio. I remember the early days revisiting these stuff.
Not so much playing them live, but if I listen to the record, definitely, yeah, because that has a specific sound to it, and I even like sing differently on it a little bit. When I listen to it, I'm just like, I don't even really sing like that anymore. So it does send me back there just listening to it. But playing it live, I think we've made it into something a little more road worn, to where when we play it on the road, it's this specific, we play it this way and it sounds this way on the road. And then if you listen to the record, it's the same, but it's a little different. So there's kind of like two different versions of those songs for me. So when we do them live, some of them have that vibe where I like remember stuff, and some of them are just like, it's kind of just I don't know, I don't want to call it filler, but it's got its placement in the set list to keep the momentum going, stuff like that, so I don't know. Another tangent, I'm sorry.
I've always wanted to know how did the Daryl Palumbo connection come about for that record?
Kind of a fluke. I mean, we went to a Glassjaw, or I think it was a Deftones show, and Glassjaw was opening, and our old bass player, Derek, and I think Randy too, just like saw him backstage, and we kind of like went up to the fence and talked to him for a minute, and he just asked him like, yo, you want to be on our record? And he's like, sure. And so he just like flew out, stayed at Derek's house for a couple days, jumped in the studio, did those tracks, and then flew home. Like, I don't think him or us knew what that was going to do, or like what that would look like, or if that would do anything for anybody's career or do anything. But I think it opened, like, paved a pathway for both bands to just like be looked at, by everybody and be like, what's going on here? What is this relationship? Who are these bands? So it was good for everybody, I think. And
that's beautiful.
Daryl's just that kind of guy, so.
Well, you say that. I messaged him and I said, will you be on my band track?
He's like, no fucking way.
And he said, what's the budget? Oh, what a bastard. But,
yeah, okay. Well, maybe he was that way back then. I'm not sure.
He had more free time. More free time.
Sure.
Yeah.
But no, we can't mention that record without mentioning Palumbo, because Sean's biggest influences has been Palumbo, especially listening to those songs and what he does on there. And like, that must be like another weird thing to look back on, because like not many people kind of do that nowadays, right? Well, they'll just be like, oh, okay, cool, you guys sound cool, I'll just jump on.
Yeah, got to go through management and all that stuff. And I don't even know if we paid him. Like, it was just, I lost my train of thought, but
we had him on the podcast.
Oh, I was going to say, sorry. That yes, it's a trip because I always forget that he's on the record, and so I was actually listening to it the other day, and Grey Matter came on, and I was just like, oh yeah, Daryl's on here, and then it's like, oh yeah, he's on 2 songs. He's not even just on this one. He's on Project Mayhem too. So it's like, how the hell did we pull that off? I was actually just thinking about that the other day. Yes, funny.
Yeah, we had him on the podcast a couple of years ago, and as soon as we brought up like the Finch collaboration, he was like, Nate's my boy. So like, it's just nice to see that love between two like iconic staples of the scene.
Every time we see each other, it's nothing but love for us. I don't know how the rest of his band feels about our band or me or whatever, but like me and Daryl have always been cool. And
nobody asked Beck. For fuck's sake, nobody asked Beck.
Yeah. We have a high level of respect for each other, I would assume. He treats me that way anyway.
Good. So, good. That's nice.
No, he's great.
Yeah, it's nice to hear.
Yeah, I think in that band, Daryl's like the angel who's very, very lovely to everybody. And then Beck exists.
He's a businessman, you know? What are you going to do?
He's a business man. Yeah.
Away from the band, what is Nate's life? Like, what do you get up to day to day at the moment?
You know, I try to start the morning off with a meditation and some yoga, and
Nice.
I have a daughter, so I do the dad thing most of the day, writing music. I'm usually at Kenny's house most of the week, working on Finch music and other stuff, whatever, just musical relationship there. But yeah, it's just writing and doing the dad thing and trying to stay centered and focused and look to the future, you know? Well,
Is meditation and yoga something you've done for a while?
a couple of years, yeah. It's just something that has really helped me out, and I'm getting old, you know, so like stretching is probably not a bad thing at this point.
Yeah.
And meditating's always good to get your mind right in the morning, just go into the day focused. So I encourage that, you know, for anybody.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, one thing we have started asking bands on this podcast is the weirdest place they've ever played live. And I mean this in terms of other answers of being back of pickup trucks,
That's
like
weird.
a zoo,
That's
a
weird.
kebab shop. Is it being anywhere where Finch has rocked up over the years and you've gone, really? This is the venue?
There's a place in Bakersfield called, I think it was called Jerry's Pizza. Yeah, sorry, no kidding. We rolled in there. I was like, "Where's corn?" Jerry's Pizza in Bakersfield. It was a legit pizzeria with arcade and stuff. Like it was. We had no business playing music there, and I think we played there with Thrice. What? Like, no, this was like way back in the day too. Like we were all just kids, and like it was like insane because it was just didn't make any sense. Like people were trying to eat pizza, and we're just like. You know, I don't know. It was fun though. Like that kind of stuff. I always thought that was fun. Yeah.
Nice.
I can't see. Like you couldn't do that today because
No.
if you guys even went right, we're going to do a pizzeria just for a laugh. There'd be so many people trying to get in. It
Sure.
would be like. I love hearing the
You'd have
magic.
to change the menu to all like Finch related things.
Yeah.
Peppers for you. I'm gonna leave it there. That's as good as it's going to get from me.
Peppers for
Peppers for
you.
you.
I like that. Yeah.
UFOs. How do you feel? Do you believe? Have you seen
course.
anything?
I have. Well.
Oh, there's a well.
I mean, I have seen stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. It's obviously unidentified. That's why they're called that. But I do. I've always thought that was a real thing, and now you know, there's all kinds of things confirming that. So. Just like, yeah, we already knew that. Like, everybody's like, well, look, we have evidence now. And it's like, we've always had evidence. You just didn't want to look at it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, big believer in that shit.
Good. Yeah. That's my go-to question towards the end now is UFOs.
Is anybody like, no, I'm leaving?
Yeah, we've had a couple, haven't we?
Yeah, but the reason he brings this up is because you imagine with bands traveling so much and like getting weird flights and the tour buses being like the middle of the arse end of countries at the randomest times. You imagine someone seeing something and they just haven't had the chance to tell anyone yet.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people see stuff, whether it's that or it's supernatural or whatever you want to call it, and they just choose to ignore it because they tell their brains, like, I didn't just see that, like, that's just my imagination. But if you stop for a second and be like, wait a minute, I did see that, like, you know, maybe I did see something, then it starts to open you up and your receptors are open to see those things more often, I feel. But I feel like a lot of people just don't want to accept that because it doesn't make sense. Because obviously we're all afraid of things we don't understand. But yeah, don't be so close-minded, man.
Yeah, we never know what's out there. You never know what's out there.
Yes.
I want to ask you this question, and it might be on the spot, and I get if you don't have an answer for it. But again, people do consider Finch and the albums you've made really up there within emo legacy, right? If I was to give you emo Mount Rushmore, for you personally, what names do you think should be up there?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the emo moniker has been moved over to so many things that aren't emo.
that is the problem.
Like, people call Blink-182 emo, and it's just like, what are you talking about? So
Yeah, everything
I
was
don't know.
post-hardcore for a bit.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance got really massive, and everyone went, they're emo, and well, they're not, but that'll do.
I don't. How do you categorize that? And the Used too. Like what we all kind of like at the same time and did the same tour.
Yeah.
Like Finch, the Used, and My Chem all toured together, and it's like, but we all became something different.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't call the Used emo or
it's
My
like,
Chem.
it's such a broad term now. It's basically calling someone an emo nowadays is basically. Back when I was a kid, it was like calling somebody a goth. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you just like alternative stuff.
Yeah.
You're a goth.
Exactly.
So now emo is like you said, Blink-182.
Yeah.
Newfound Glory.
Yeah.
What?
Nope.
No.
No,
Yeah.
no, not in my wheelhouse. No, I don't know. That's a hard one. Because even when we were, doing it and we're in the scene or whatever, like I didn't really. I listened to our peers, like the people that were coming up around us and stuff. But it wasn't like actively seeking out like what are the new emo bands. Like I listened to emo. That's all I listened to because I don't.
Well, I remember being offended by people calling me an emo.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Like, it was a derogatory term for about 5 to 10 years of people going, oh, he's an emo. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Huh? But
It has a weird stigma to it, honestly, and I don't know. I'm not offended by it, but I also don't even consider us emo. Like I don't, like I said, because now it's moved on to like something different, and people call the weirdest things emo now, and it's like, well, I'm not a part of that, so
Yeah.
maybe we aren't emo. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would categorize Finch as, or do you think it's moved so much now?
It's like, when people used to ask, I never said emo. I just said like
Hard rock band.
Especially like older people would be like, oh, what do you play? It's like, I don't know, rock. That's what I say, because I don't know. If you had to categorize it into like, if you had rock, blues, jazz, rap, it's like, it's rock.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
I don't know. Not into labels, man.
Let's finish it with, who are some of your biggest inspirations as a singer and a front man?
Mike Patton is number one, obviously.
Of course.
Under that, there are a lot of really good, brilliant people, but
Have you met Mike?
I met him once when I was a teenager. He came through with Faith No More. He was not happy with me. So I followed him to the bus and tried to get an autograph. And he's like, "You guys need to go home." Signed a thing, got back on his bus. I was like, "I love you."
I'll tell you my Patton.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you my Patton story as soon as we finish.
Yeah.
Can we finish?
Well,
Yeah, I want to hear it. Actually,
it's a fucking good one.
he's a good
I
one. He's
bet.
told it
It's
a
a
few
good
times
one.
on here, but it's fucking it's
you're
insane.
sick of it.
Yeah. That's why I'm censoring myself now.
Yeah.
I'm eager to go.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Well, before we let you go, because it's getting a busy day and you need to prepare for the live show. I mean, very exciting that you guys are working on the music actively and stuff like that. But is there a plan or like a blueprint for what you want the future of this band to be, with just maybe emotionally or like schedules and everything else in between?
just steady work, and just having everybody be able to have time for and take care of their family, but also, we all want this to work, we want to be invested in it. I just hope that everybody stays invested and we all move in the right direction, and that everybody else looking from the outside in is also satisfied with, where we go from here, and they just follow us along on the journey, That's all you could really ask for, because once they go away, we go away, so it's kind of, I don't know, just hope. We're just hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for the future.
I can speak for a lot of fans. It's been really great to see you guys doing more and more stuff as the year has gone on. So I'm excited for whatever's next. And as Sean said before we started recording, his band Raiders supported you the last UK tour as well, which
was fantastic. It was a fucking dream come true that it finally happened. Because I've been in a band since 2004, so the fact that our bands have never crossed is crazy to me. But thank you very much for this. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the inspiration. And cannot wait to see you, and cannot wait for the new music. So thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want that story.
You're listening to Sappenin Podcast. Yes, that was the wonderful Nate from the brilliant Finch with a very, very insightful conversation that I enjoyed very, very much. I hope he enjoyed too. I know he doesn't do many interviews, so maybe he doesn't enjoy them or whatever. But I had my fun, and that's all that matters.
It did. That is all that matters. Very, very lucky that we got to do this. People will know that this is one we've wanted to do for years. So the fact that we got to do it backstage at Slam Dunk makes it all the more fun. I think it's exclusive news on new music. I'm not sure, but if any outlets are listening to this, trying to steal information from our bloody podcast...
Credit us! Credit us, you shits.
Yeah, share it everywhere. If you're just listening, at Sappenin Pod on Instagram, take a screenshot, put it in your stories, tag us. We get to share it. We'll reply to it. It's all a good laugh. Get the Nate love out there into the universe. I'm just happy that Finch are a band in 2025, that they're writing new music, that they get to be playing all these shows, because they are very much criminally underrated in some scenes, but celebrated. So criminally?
You got it that time.
Yeah, I got it that time. Of course I did. Fucking hell. I love Finch. That's what I'm trying to say.
How were we allowed to do talking every week when neither of us can talk? That's mad, isn't it? But anyway, yes, Nate, fantastic chat. I love hearing people fanboy over other people as well. So getting to hear him talk about Mike Patton was absolutely fantastic when I feel exactly the same way as Nate. And yes, I told him my story post-chat, which he laughed at. And yeah, it was good. So yeah, thanks again to Nate and the team and all of Finch for the music, the inspiration. And just being nice to us. Didn't have to be. Could have called us cunts and told us to fuck off, and we would have been like, yeah, all right, fair enough. That's what you do. What
was even cooler is the day... So we did this at Hatfield. The day after at Leeds, I was walking behind one of the stages to go somewhere to the used, and Nate got out of his bus and saw me. Could have just ducked, could have run back into his bus or anything.
That's what I would have done.
Gave me a nod and a wave. And I was like,
look out.
Am I friends with Finch?
You finally made it.
I have.
You are now. Yeah,
that was my moment. That was my moment.
Yeah,
you said about how are we allowed to do these podcasts when we can't even talk?
Yeah.
It's even worse. How are we allowed to do these podcasts live on festival stages? Is another thing.
I have no idea.
We have recently announced that we will be taking over Radar Festival in July, doing 3 live podcast events next door to the festival as our own separate live shows before it starts every morning. So if you're in Manchester in the United Kingdom on July 4th, 5th or 6th and you fancy waking up early, come to see us two host some masterclass live podcasts, go and check out radarfestival.co.uk/tickets. I'm trying to get them to come, Sean. If we book them and they will come, I'm not sure if it works for podcasts. I'm trying to see.
Honestly, now, after years of being in a band, I know if you book them, they will come. It's not true, despite what Wayne and Garth were going around telling people in the 90s. But yes, come and see us at Radar Festival every morning before the festival starts. We will have a bunch of guests and a good fun start to your mornings. So yes, come and check us out at Sappenin Podcast at Radar Festival. Yes.
I've confirmed 2 of the 3 guests so far, and when we finally announce them, you're going to be very, very surprised. You're going to be surprised because you don't know, but the audience is also going to be very, very surprised and want to come. And also, just to let you know, for whatever reason, if you wanted to come and see us and not go to the festival, you can buy a ticket just to come and see us. You don't actually have to attend the festival, but it's encouraged because there's all those live bands there. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? But just letting you know in some silly way.
Yes, come and see us. Come and see us chat bollocks and go home if you want. Yeah. Oh, you could be fucking pissed by 11:30 every morning. You could go out and get drunk by 11:30 every morning and then just go home and and then have a daytime nap. Yeah. Do you know what? The lineup's too good. I was going to say if the lineup wasn't so good, that might be what I'm doing. But yeah, check out Radar Festival. It's absolutely class. And also, we need you to check out patreon.com/Sappenin, where our favourite people on the earth reside. They are the people who have literally made this podcast a possibility to go every single Friday. So check out patreon.com/Sappenin. As always, in the description, there's the names of everybody involved in our podcast. But right now, I've got to give a shout out to the top tiers who are as follows. See what I'm doing? I'm stalling by saying things slowly so I can get the names up. Hey, behind the scenes look at how fucking podcasting works. Anyway, thank you very much. Kylie Wheeler, Paul Hirschfield, Scarlett Charlton, Mitch Perry, Tony Michael, Nathan Croshaw, Johanna, Jonathan Gutierrez, Molly Malloy and James Bowbank, Amy Louise, Kat Besant, Ian Gent, Amy Hogg, Chris Sauer, Jerry Robinson, Amy Dawson, Scott Jones, Mayumi, Stuart McNaught, Ellen Southfield, John and Emma, Jennifer Dean, Colin Robinson, Jenny Munster, Craig Harris, Louis Cook, Carl Pendlebury, James McNaught, Jason Heredia, Martina McManus, Danny Eaton, Span, Thomas O'Neill, Ollie Amesbury, Dan Peregrine, Emily Perry, Adam King of the Goss Parslow, Kalila Keane, Josh, a mummy covered in chocolate and nuts has been discovered in Egypt. Archaeologists believe it might be a Pharaoh Rocher. Crisp. Hey, for international fans of that's a chocolate in the UK. Thank you very much. Lambda Lee Martin, Laura Russell, Sophia Zuravska, Fraser Cummins, Kyle King of the Sloth Smith, Connor Lewins and family. Thank you very much to all of those people. I also want to shout out to Patreon member Dilly Grimwood. I hope you're doing as well as possible. We're all sending our love and thoughts to you.
Yes, we do. We are sending all the love possible everywhere. Thank you, everyone, for listening, taking time to just check out this nonsense, and especially for our Patreons for continuing this each and every week. We'll be back next Friday for more shenanigans, and hopefully until the end of time.
Oh, God. Which is 2027, if you believe alien rumors. Anyway, Sappenin!
Sappenin!
Oh, I got to stop reading the internet.
You're listening to Sappenin Podcast with Sean Smith and Morgan Richards. Thank you very much for downloading this podcast or streaming it, or I don't know what else you do with podcasts. Thank you very much.